You're sitting in a packed cinema just after midnight. The lights go down, the movie starts. Then there's a noise behind you. At first no one reacts because in a movie theatre noise is expected, right? But seconds later, people start running. And by the time anyone realises what's happening, it's already too late. This case is not about mystery. It's about warning signs and what happens when they're ignored. July 20th, 2012. Aurora, Colorado in the US. It's the midnight premiere of The Dark Knight Rises, the final chapter in a beloved trilogy. People are dressed up, some are laughing, others are recording quick phone videos before the film starts. Nothing about the night feels dangerous, but sitting among them is a 24-year-old man who will soon become one of the most infamous names in modern American crime. James Egan Holmes wasn't a drifter. He wasn't unknown, he wasn't invisible. He was a neuroscience PhD student at the University of Colorado on the medical campus. By all outward appearances, he was intelligent, quiet, deeply academic, but behind the scenes things were unraveling. Holmes had been struggling with severe mental health issues for months. He had withdrawn from his doctoral program. He had been seeing mental health professionals, and he was sinking deeper into violent ideation. What no one around him knew, though, was how far those thoughts had already gone. In the weeks leading up, Holmes legally purchased firearms and ammunition, a lot of it. He also rigged his apartment with an elaborate system of explosives designed to detonate if anyone entered. This wasn't impulsive, this wasn't sudden. It was methodical, and while no manifesto was ever publicly released, Holmes mailed a notebook to a psychiatrist describing violent thoughts. It arrived afterwards, too late. About 20 minutes into the film, Holmes stood up, walked to the emergency exit, and disappeared into the hallway. Minutes later, he returned, but this time he's wearing tactical gear, a gas mask, and carrying multiple firearms. He threw tear gas canisters into the crowd. People coughed, eyes burned, confusion spread. At first, many thought it was part of the movie. Then the gunfire started. In under 10 minutes, 12 people were killed, 70 were injured, 58 by gunfire. People crawled, people shielded strangers, some never made it out of their seat. When police arrived, he didn't run, he didn't resist, he simply told officers where he was parked. Authorities quickly realised something else was wrong. As mentioned, Holmes's apartment was booby-trapped. It took days to safely dismantle the explosives. Meanwhile, survivors flooded hospitals. Families waited for names, and the city tried to understand what had just happened. There was no political motive, no ideological manifesto, just destruction. In 2015, Holmes went to trial. His defense argued he was legally insane at the time of the attack. Prosecutors argued the opposite, that he planned the attack, that he understood what he was doing, and that he knew it was wrong. Jurors heard from psychiatrists, from survivors, from first responders. In the end, the insanity defense failed. Holmes was sentenced to 12 consecutive life sentences without parole. Plus, are you ready for this? 3,318 additional years for attempted murder. The death penalty was avoided because one juror refused to impose it. For the victims, the sentence didn't undo anything, it just ended the case. This wasn't a mystery waiting to be solved. It was a chain of warning signs: mental illness, isolation, access. And once the chain was complete, nothing could stop what followed. If you were in that theatre, you wouldn't have known either. And that's what makes this so unsettling. Not so much what happened, but how ordinary everything felt. Right up until the moment it didn't. Until next time.